We are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our second session of day 2, Apparel Textile Sourcing Virtual. I'd like to welcome for the first time to the ATS stage, Ed Terris from Goodwill Industries, South Florida. Ed is the Vice President of Manufacturing. He is joined today with his colleague, Mark Marchioli. Did I say that right, Mark?
I've been called worse, so you got it.
My last name's Shin. People call me Shine. For some reason, I don't know where they found the E in there, but anyway, the title of their talk today is Mission Focused Apparel Manufacturing in Miami. So I'd just like to remind everybody viewing that we do have a chat function as well as a Q&A. If you have any questions for Ed or Mark along the way, please post them there, as well as our Facebook Live viewers. You can go ahead, make a comment there in the form of a question, and those will be fed over to me over on our end through our administrators. So without further ado, gentlemen, the stage is yours. I'll be running support in the background. Thanks for doing this.
Sure.
Great, thanks for the introduction. Hello, everybody, and welcome once again. Certainly appreciate the opportunity to speak to you today. Again, my name's Ed Terris, representing Goodwill Industries of South Florida today. So some of the topics we're going to cover for you today, a little bit about myself, but more importantly, we want to talk about the social enterprise model as it pertains to Goodwill and other similar agencies that do similar type of work supporting people with disabilities, barriers to employment. We're going to give you share a video with you, introduce you to Terry Newman, who's one of our participants that we serve at Goodwill Industries. Talk to you a little bit about Goodwill, more than just a retail store, more than just a thrift store for finding great value. Social entrepreneurialism means a lot more than just retail, and we'll talk a little bit about that. And of course, we're going to talk about keeping apparel manufacturing alive in Miami. And while our focus is on Miami, we think the topic is also very important nationally. So a little bit about me. I've been the Vice President of Goodwill Industries of South Florida, starting back in June of 2020. I'm a industry professional with about 28 years of experience in both apparel manufacturing, specifically for military applications, primarily in the areas of apparel and life-saving protective equipment and gear as well. I've also worked in the automotive industry for a number of years. And so I have the unique experience of working in both multiple industries, for-profit, nonprofit. And there's one common thread through everything that I do, and it's operational excellence. So it doesn't matter what type of a business that I'm supporting. I think it's really important that you achieve world-class results. So I like to infuse modern business processes and practices, regardless of, again, the nature of what type of industry it is that I'm supporting. And it's really and the approach is pretty simple, right? It's an affiliative leadership style primarily, where we teach, train, coach, mentor, and educate people on world-class manufacturing, specifically focused on continuous improvement, lean manufacturing principles, and total quality management. Okay, and so that's really the approach, and it works really well, by the way, in the nonprofit industry, where we're not just trying to give people jobs, which obviously that's a big piece of it, but when we employ people that are struggling to get traction in the workplace, we want to also give them the tools for continued success, not only just continued success on the job, but life skills as well. So what is social enterprise? Sometimes we refer to ourselves in the nonprofit arena as socially entrepreneurial organizations. So in the case of Goodwill and other agencies like Goodwill, what we are is we're a nonprofit with a mission that's focused on supporting people with disabilities and other barriers to employment. We help people, again, gain employment, have jobs by first of all, matching them to their abilities. We don't focus on the disability, we focus on their abilities, because it doesn't matter if you have a disability or not, there's something you can do and do well. So we identify what that is, and then we identify a training plan to help you be successful on the job. And whether you decide to stay with our organization or you decide to, maybe you gain the confidence once you've got traction in the workplace and you want to go work somewhere else, we actually help you prepare for a job outside of our agency if that's what you choose to do. From an operations perspective, it can be a little bit challenging because you never like to train people in most businesses, only to see them move on, but that's just part of what we do. So again, we apply modern, what you would consider to be any kind of a modern commercial or for-profit business practice or process to help our business. It's really important that we create value for our customers, right? And that we're competitive and that we say what we do and do what we say, especially in terms of delivery and quality performance. So we understand that a social entrepreneurial model means that we're going to support people with disabilities and barriers, but we have to satisfy that end customer that we're producing products and services for. So we need world-class manufacturing business processes in place to do that. And this business model is really unique. The word not-for-profit doesn't mean you can't make a profit. Quite the contrary, we need to make money, we need to generate revenue, and we need to make some profits, because we use that money, we pour that money back into the business. And that's really important because it's how we're funding a lot of our programs and a lot of what we do. So it's really important that we serve our external customers, again, the folks that we're providing products and services for at a high level, and at the same time, we're teaching skills, valuable skills to people who need it, so that they can get traction and remain active in the workforce and not just have a job, but hopefully help them to flourish. So why the need for social enterprises and social entrepreneurial organizations like a Goodwill? Well, first of all, there's close to 4 million people of working age in Miami-Dade and Broward counties in southeastern Florida. And that covers the greater Miami and Fort Lauderdale region. Over 12% of the folks have some type of a disability, okay, whether it be developmental, physical, mental, emotional, cognitive, and it's not as easy for folks with a disability to find work. And when I use the term barrier, by the way, a barrier means that maybe somebody doesn't have a documented disability as outlined by the Ability One program, but they still have some issues that's preventing them from getting traction in the workforce. Okay, and so there's a whole host of things that can fall under the barrier umbrella. That could be homelessness. It could be veterans, PTSD type things that go untreated or undiagnosed. It can be maybe folks who were incarcerated. So it covers a wide range of individuals who, for one reason or another, are struggling to get traction in the workplace. So when you look at a number like 12.2% in southeastern Florida, that equates to over 450,000 individuals, okay? And the vast majority of them are unemployed. And when you compare people with a disability to those without in terms of unemployment statistics, people with disabilities and barriers are disproportionately unemployed. And the dichotomy of it all is many of them are willing and able to work and can do great work if we just give them an opportunity and, again, focus on what their abilities are. So organizations like Goodwill do a very good job at that. And of course, when you have such a high rate of unemployment in any particular group, you're going to have a lot more people that are living below the poverty line. So not only do people have disabilities, but they're also living in poverty. So it just makes their situation that much more difficult. We like to, we like the business model because most people who have a disability or barrier to employment, they just don't want to sit at home and receive a check. They want to participate. They want to be a part of society. They want to contribute and do their part. So to be able to give them an opportunity to be rewarded for their efforts is gratifying. And I think pretty much anybody in this audience can attest to the fact that most humans get a lot of gratification and a sense of esteem and well-being through work. So extremely important, extremely important. Goodwill helps. Well, we've served over 6,800 people in our most recent year. That's a significant number. We currently are employing 2,770 people, giving them opportunities to do work and receive a steady paycheck. And 95% of all revenues and any fundraising we do, again, goes right back into funding our business and our programs so that we can continue to do excellent work. So now we want to share a video. This is one of our participants at Goodwill, Mr. Terry Newman. He's actually, I'm drawing a little circle around his head with my mouse. He's here in the picture. Next to him is our CEO, Mr. David Landsberg. And so we're going to share a short video with you about Terry.
Yeah, just give me a minute to switch screens here.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Terry Newman. I'm a part of the Goodwill family, and I've been working here at Goodwill for 20 years in the manufacturing area. And what I do here is to make military uniforms. And my specific job is to put the care label in the pocket of the uniform, the right front pocket. And Goodwill, working here at Goodwill has changed my life. I've been able to meet various people from all over the world and all different walks of life as well. And I've been able to travel as well. It's given me passive income so that I'm able to travel and meet new people that way as well. And I also am a part of the Spirit of Goodwill band. I'm the lead singer as well as the sax player. And I've been singing in the Goodwill band and working here at Goodwill. And it's impacted my life, the band has. It's changed my personality because at one point, I was distempered. I didn't have any patience. And so I've changed for the better as far as that is concerned, because I now have more patience and I'm able to be tolerant of others with an array of disabilities. And I mean, I have a disability, so I would expect people to be tolerant of my situation as well. And it's been a blessing working here at Goodwill. It's also to play in the Goodwill band. And so with that, I'd like to bid you a fond farewell. Thank you so much.
So thanks for watching, everybody. If you happen to notice, so Terry told us a little bit about what he does at Goodwill, and he's an apparel sewer. So he participates in on the line sewing military uniforms, as he said it. And if you noticed, Terry's blind. He's completely sight impaired, and yet he's participating in a job that requires dexterity, and most people would think requires sight. And that's the beautiful thing about what Goodwill and other agencies do for people like Terry, is we're able to use assistive technology, and we're able to take our unique approach to figuring out what people's abilities are, so that not only can they have a job, but they can be productive and efficient on the job and become good at what they do. And they become a valued team member. And in addition, Terry, as you heard, he's the singer in the Goodwill band. And he said, and in addition to some of the job skills, You know, Terry also mentioned that he's been learning some life skills with support from his coach and his counselor. So that's the difference. That's the difference an agency like Goodwill can make, and we can produce world-class products and services through continuous improvement and excellent business processes. And also, I'd like to point out to you that there's other videos as well about people like Terry and other folks that work for Goodwill that are available on our Goodwill YouTube channel if you want to check those out. So let's talk just a little bit more specifically about Goodwill. Yeah, more than just a retail store for sure. Yes, most people think of Goodwill, they think retail. They think this is where I can turn my stuff in, or this is where I can go shop and find a great value on some very nice products and save some money. So yeah, we're big into retail. You can see from the diagram here that donated goods is a big chunk of our revenue. However, we have some other lines of business that are very important to us. Apparel manufacturing, which is obviously what we're talking about here today, takes a nice piece of the pie as well at about 42% of revenue. We have a budding third-party logistics operation where we're doing assembly and sequencing assembly, kitting, and sequencing of various products, and that business is a great complement to our apparel manufacturing business as well. So really a nice segue strategy for the organization. We also have janitorial services, so we clean about 5 million square feet of space in the greater Miami area on a daily basis, and that's significant. And then we have a laundry facility, which is doing very well, supporting different people with different disabilities and barriers, and also providing a great service to a lot of the local hospitals in the area that we've partnered with. Another nice aspect about having multiple lines of business is, so for example, you know, not everybody can work in retail. Not everybody wants to be a sewing machine technician or a seamster or seamstress. So by having multiple lines of business, we can offer people with a multitude of abilities different opportunities for different types of work. So this is an abbreviated version of a virtual tour. We've kind of condensed it a little bit for keeping in consideration the time that we have this afternoon, but we want to share another video with you, a quick virtual tour of our operations.
While so many associate the Goodwill name with the brick and mortar face of our retail stores, there is so much more to this nonprofit than many realize. Goodwill is the 17th largest employer in South Florida, providing jobs for over 3,000 people and serving over 6,000 people a year. We are also proud to be one of the most cost-effective nonprofits in the United States, investing 95% of our funding into mission fulfillment. We rely on our social enterprise model and businesses we create to train and employ people with disabilities and other barriers to work. We manufacture military apparel and U.S. flags for the United States government. We have a janitorial enterprise that cleans 6 million square feet of space and a world-class healthcare laundering facility. We use the cash flow from these businesses to support individual case management, medical and psychological services, and vocational training. These are key ingredients to help our participants stay employed, giving them a place to belong and a chance to overcome their challenges and to experience greater independence. Simply put, the more funds we receive, the more people we help. Please join us today and become a Goodwill partner to share the gift of hope, opportunity, and a bright future.
And just a quick note too, so if you want the full 20-minute tour, which you know, I know that's a lot of time for everybody to give up in their day. We get a lot of positive feedback on really shows the breadth of the organization and what we're doing to help people in the South Florida community. You can visit the link that's provided in that slide there and shoot me a message if you need me to send that to you as well. Back to you, Ed.
Thanks, Mark.
Yep.
So keeping apparel manufacturing alive in the United States. So, the fact that it's been sort of a strategic initiative on the part of the U.S. government to do some made in the USA initiatives for military-related items really is fueled by the Buy American Act and other legislation. And it's really sort of kept, apparel manufacturing and the textile industry, alive in this country because we all know what's been, happening over the last, 25, 30 years ago. Things were leaving and there was just a steady stream going out. So we also are focused on, increasing the diversity of our products and our customers. Leveraging on our onshoring momentum and partnering with commercial customers as well. So again, we definitely want to increase our value add for our customers with full service manufacturing, warehousing, e-commerce support with our 3PL. And again, that 3PL warehousing and manufacturing, they're very synergistic businesses. So we're really proud of those. Again, the core apparel military customer base, we're manufacturing over about 1 million products annually. We employ over 1,000 people within the apparel manufacturing line of business. At least 75 of those folks have a federally qualifying disability. We have over 11 active different products within our manufacturing environment. And we offer full service to the customer from design and engineering using highly technical assembly techniques, different fabrics. We obviously support design for manufacturability, but we also support design for fit and function as well. So, while our customers typically do the bulk of the design work, we regularly support them in that endeavor. So again, logistics, warehousing, and kitting. We have 300,000 square feet of flexible kitting space with the ability to invest in some additional warehousing and provide more full service support. Our location with the Port of Miami and the Miami Cargo Airport within 10 minutes of our headquarters is really gives us we think, a logistical advantage. And we can focus on everything from recycling, repurposing, and remanufacturing efforts. And we also have dedicated project management support as well. So we think it's really important that we tie together our business between our external customer, our operations, and our sales and marketing and work and business development teams. So we use dedicated project management tools and to track milestones and do consistent and steady follow-up to keep everything on track. And focus on, some of our key advantages. Speed to market, right? It's really important. You can't necessarily get speed to market overseas. So we have a good enterprise resource program to support just-in-time production, keep track of all of our raw goods right through the assembly of finished goods. We have no touch service with direct fulfillment of e-commerce orders to ship to our retail stores. Faster product availability for customers and more responsive production. And product does not sit in cargo ships en route to market. Our customers will receive their products usually within days of them being produced. So vertical sourcing capability, existing domestic fabric and trim supplier relationships. So Made in the USA doesn't just start and end with the manufacturing and assembly processes. It filters back through the supply chain as well. So pursuing fabric recycling initiatives for full life cycle support, in addition to full supplier management, and including the rollout recently of a dedicated supplier manual. And then focus on quality and efficiency. Standards are sort of the, benchmarking is the holy grail of your organization, and say what you do what you say, and follow standards. So we are ISO, actually we're ISO 9008 2015 certified. We have full complementary quality initiatives in place for total quality management for decision making and process and product analysis and key decision making. And we're in the process right now of transitioning from maybe what we would consider to be a bundle ticket model to modular manufacturing cells, where we're producing more on a theoretical one-piece flow basis. Keeps our work in process inventories down, keeps our raw good inventories down, keeps our finished good inventories down. We focus on the process and building quality in versus inspecting quality in. That saves us time and resources, which is money. And again, that's how we can pass along that value to the end customer while we produce a better quality garment.
And just to jump in and add on to, the last few slides there, right? It's critical to provide, that world-class support to our customers, right? As we look to balance between, our traditional military customers and, look to leverage some commercial large scale opportunities as well, right? So we've done an analysis internally of, all right, how do we be competitive with overseas? What are our customers looking for? And these are really the ways that we've seen where we provide those advantages to producing overseas. And it's critical for manufacturers in the US to focus on, what we have as key advantages, because there's definitely a cost difference to manufacturing domestically compared to, overseas. And, you've got to bring in value to the customer. And a lot of times, that's in these key areas here. So, we're working to focus our business on supporting these so that we can, provide, this, we call them value adds to the customer, just some inherent value that we can provide to them. So just wanted to add that in as well. Kick it over to our last slide here. And just give a quick, make sure if you're reaching out to us on social media, highly recommend going to our YouTube page. There's some great videos on the mission that we're doing. You can, find more stories like Terry there. You can find information on the Spirit of Goodwill band. We had an award-winning DVD in 2010 that was a documentary on the band. Really inspirational story. The Spirit of Goodwill band is the only known band comprised fully of individuals with disabilities. And we've got probably about 25 to 30 people that are part of the band. And when they start firing up the instruments on a Thursday right off the apparel manufacturing floor, Ed's got a smile on his face because it just brightens your day, and it give some additional purpose, to those people we serve as well. So strongly encourage that. Just to briefly discuss, Goodwill South Florida and how we fall under the Goodwill International brand. So Goodwills are agnostic and very territorial based. So, we focus on supporting Goodwill in Miami-Dade, or the area in Miami-Dade and Broward counties. And we have our own corporate structure, and we can focus our mission on what the community needs are. So, I'm located outside the Boston area. We have a Goodwill in the Northeast region of the US here. And they primarily focus on retail, which is a majority of the Goodwills in the US do. We're one of the few that have taken a more entrepreneurial approach to kind of battle the ability to provide that job training to people, but also find them a place where they can land on their feet and continue to grow. So we try to provide those opportunities. I think with that, Ed, unless you have anything else, we'll kick it over to Jason.
Yeah, I'm good, Mark. Thanks.
Okay.
Great. Wow. I got to say, I was not expecting that depth in so far as, I don't think the average person doesn't understand exactly what, the scope of Goodwill is. You know what I mean? Like you said before, it's at top of mind. It's, oh, that's where I can donate my clothes. I can go for a good deal. But I think they fail to realize there's so much more scope to it. 2,770 people just in that Miami-Dade area. That's nothing certainly to bat an eye at. It's pretty fantastic. I had no idea you guys had 40% of your revenue came from manufacturing. That is pretty impressive. Yeah. When did this whole, especially the government contract there, when did that all happen?
So we started, again, the Goodwill model is to provide job training, right? So in the 80s, we continue to struggle to place people in commercial businesses. So that's where that entrepreneurial model comes in. In the early 80s, we focused on the janitorial and landscaping business. In around 1992, don't quote me on that, but around that time, the military came to us with their it's BDUs, right? So battle dress uniforms. It's the fatigues you see them walking around with when they're out and about, right? So they wanted to diversify their manufacturing base. Came to us. We said, "Yep, we want to look into that opportunity." And ever since then, we've been growing for the last 30 years on that. Continue to just expand our product mix and take on more complex items. Again, just providing different job opportunities for people in the local area.
Yeah, as far as a business model goes, it seems like sustainability is a buzzword that we get quite a bit on the show, and it seems like from the very least, from a business model perspective, this is a very scalable, sustainable approach to how you run a business while giving back to a community and putting out a really good product. So very, very, very amazing to hear everything you guys are doing. It's phenomenal. We do have a question here that popped up. Are you accepting small scale production, and do you work with children's apparel? From one of our viewers.
So, we couch everything with it depends, right? What does small scale production mean? But we definitely willing to have conversations and look at that. Children's clothing, we've done some sampling in the past and some small scale opportunities, but certainly nothing that scares us by any means. We've got a great team on board that that can support that.
Yeah, they said they're looking for under 100 pieces, to be more specific.
Yeah, depends. We're looking at some other opportunities where we could potentially support some smaller scale, have a little more nimble, almost a sampling line that we can provide some support to customers like that. So definitely reach out to us. We can have a conversation.
Fantastic. Another Q&A just came in. Are you also manufacturing OCPs and new combat uniform within RFI Rapid Fielding Initiative? Excuse me.
This is somebody that knows their stuff. Yes, we are. It's a military question when there's a lot of acronyms in it, but yeah. So OCP is the newer camouflage pattern that we do for the military. And Rapid Fielding Initiative is what it sounds like. It's the Army's approach to quickly get items off out of the manufacturing lines and out to the soldiers in the field. So we're a part of that as well.
Fantastic. All right. Don't think we have no other questions at this time, gentlemen. Thank you so much. That was a very fantastic presentation. Looking forward to having you guys on the show again and seeing how you guys continue to progress and build this infrastructure and community and corporate environment that you've created. So thank you again for having you. Hopefully we'll see you next year.
Excellent. Thanks, Jason.
Jason, appreciate it. Have a great
Bye,
day,
everyone.
everybody.